RVA trivia question for you. Can you name the radio voice of the Richmond Spiders before Bob Black? It's a tough one, and we're going to give you the answer in a moment. But it is difficult because for more than a generation, Black has been the voice of the Cinderella Giant Killers, something to which he never directly aspired and could have never asked for so many years ago. As he has done literally thousands of times before, Bob Black goes through his pregame checklist before getting on the air to call a Richmond Spiders basketball game.
And we're underway. Atlantic 10 basketball from the Robins Center.
This particular night, it's a TV broadcast of Richmond's game against George Washington, part of his 40th season as caretaker of the Spiders airwaves.
Spiders, Jason Nelson connects on the three ball.
If you're not too good, you don't last 40 years. They show you the door more quickly, you know? So he has to be good, and he's good.
Dick Tarrant is the Hall of Fame coach that put the Spiders on the college basketball map back in the mid-1980s with NCAA wins over the likes of Auburn and Charles Barkley. That started a long tradition of the small school from the South taking down some of the game's biggest names. A tradition, by the way, which didn't begin until Black arrived on campus.
Well, that's quite a coincidence. That's all I can say.
I tell Dick Tarrant all the time it had nothing to do with John Newman, John Davis, and Greg Beckwith, and everything to do with Bob Black, but he didn't buy that.
Beckwith, the Spiders Hall of Fame guard turned analyst, has sat next to Black for the past 20 years as his on-air partner.
Starting to back off a little bit on defense.
But he first met a much younger Black during his playing days and recognized Black's talent immediately.
He had this little squeaky voice when he started out. But I knew he's from Syracuse, and I knew he was good.
To the basket for two more.
He makes my job easy going the play-by-play. He's so smooth, so good, so knowledgeable. Just makes it so easy, so comfortable for me.
To help celebrate his milestone, Black and the school put together a top 10 list of the most memorable games he's called for the Spiders. Number one was their NCAA win over Syracuse in 1991, the first time a number 15 seed ever beat a number 2 seed in tournament history. Being a Syracuse alum might have caused some mixed feelings for anyone other than a professional who knew where his allegiances lied.
First of all, I think being in that position and eventually winning the game gives some sort of validation to what you're doing, that you're doing it at a program that is up and coming and is on a par with your alma mater and that you can compete with them. I don't think there's any game that I've broadcast that I actually wanted Richmond to win more than that game against my alma mater.
That goes to the heart of Black's professionalism and on-air style. He tries to be positively accurate in his call of games, understanding that he is the voice of the Spiders, but with an objectivity that tells viewers and listeners he's being completely honest about what's in front of him.
They need his rebounding, but they do need some scoring out of him.
I've had both sides of the audience talk to me about that. There's the one side that says, you're too objective. You say too many nice things about the opponents. There's the other side that says, you know, I can tune in that game in the second half or the fourth quarter, and I can tell right away by the tone of your voice whether the Spiders are winning or losing.
He's objective, and he's not a homer, which I really respect.
In his 18th season, Chris Mooney is the longest tenured coach with which Black has worked and has seen firsthand how Black gets to the heart of each game, regardless of the final score.
When everybody's frustrated and it's 15 minutes following a game, it's easy to say, why did this guy turn the ball over? Why did you make that decision? And I think Bob has a great way of putting those questions and the situation in context.
And he has that shot blocked.
Former coaches, current head coaches, some assistant coaches in the league, administrators, school administrators telling us how nice it is to listen to us and how easy it is to listen to us as opposing broadcasters.
We've been blessed to have somebody that good for so long. I wanted to get him into the Hall of Fame. He says, don't put me up for until I retire. But I think he's surefire U of R Hall of Fame.
Black actually began his career here with the Richmond Braves, and it was Hall of Fame broadcaster Frank Soden who recommended the Richmond job to him. By the way, the Spiders' radio voice before Black was a guy named Scott Hatch. The next voice of the Spiders, which may not happen for several years, will have significantly bigger shoes to fill.